told me that Mondays are their favorite day. They're mine too. I'm happy to to be here, to have you with us. I'm saying hi to my dear Elvin, Yolanda, hello. We got Gio, Roxy, Ebony, nice to have you. If you're here for the very first time, feel free to subscribe, and then about 30 seconds later, you'll be able to get into the chat because I love hearing from you and seeing who's here. Let me introduce myself for those who are stopping by for the very first time. My name is Karen Marinez. I'm an emotional wellness coach, and I help you to identify, process, and then untangle emotions, especially the unpleasant ones. But I've learned that some people even have a hard time processing the good ones, the more pleasant, happy ones. So this is where we do it. We learn not to be afraid of our emotions, but um, accept them, identify them, and process them. They're messengers to help us to get through life easier. Um, Today our theme is setting goals and thriving. Let me just check. Can I get a mic check? 1, 2. Can somebody give me a thumbs up if my volume is good? Just want to make sure. It's in Wadi too. Hey guys, good to have you. Just want to make sure you can hear me well. I think you can. Today we're going to talk about setting goals and thriving. Thank you, Elvin. It's so interesting. I was thinking about this, reflecting, meditating. We hear this all the time. Crush those goals, like go after, set them and go after them. But when we do that, when we do that, we're not always thriving. We may be happy to have reached the goal, doing the thing, but are we thriving? Are we coasting? Are we enjoying the scene as we go along? Are we joyful? Are we happy? Hey, Dr. Jessel, Danielle, good to have you. Are we thriving as we're going towards the goals and when we reach the goals? That's the question. Is that Shawnee Boo in Arizona? Hey, it's good to have you. So good to have you, LaShawn. Um, that's our goal, to set the goals, but then to thrive. So first we're going to talk about setting goals, how to do it, how to achieve them, some tools to help us reach them with more calm and more success. Because if we have a goal, we obviously want to reach it, but then to thrive along the way and once we get there. Because what's the use in setting a goal, doing the work, while we're doing it, it's struggle, struggle, struggle. And when we get there, it's like, oh, this is it. And we set another goal. We don't sit in that accomplishment. We want to do that. All right. So let's get started. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. I had a phenomenal weekend. The weather here in New York was just beautiful. And a dear friend whisked me away on Saturday out to Long Island, out east here in New York. Oh, Renee, it's so good to have you. Welcome. And it was a gorgeous fall day, crisp, sunny, bright, and just an hour away out east. And we had the best of times, a lot of kikiing, a lot of good conversation. You know, when you surround yourself by vitamin people, it's the best thing ever. And what I appreciated so much was I didn't have to think, I didn't have to plan it, I didn't have to drive, I didn't even know where we were going. And we had an amazing time. So my weekend was wonderful. And then Sunday I was still flying from that. And then of course we got the time went back here and it just felt so good to have that extra hour. So I hear our Arizona people did not have their time was not affected, but here it felt so good. All right, let's talk about these goals, setting our goals and thriving. Okay. As we talk, I would appreciate if, because I'm sure we all have goals, if you could put a G in the comments and then state a goal that you have, whether short term, long term. It'll give me some ideas and we can get the ball rolling with good conversation in the chat. All right. So a lot of people feel like they're just adrift in the world, right? They work hard, but they don't seem to get anywhere worthwhile. Like they say, striving and striving, but never arriving. We don't want to be like that. And a key reason why they feel that way is because they haven't spent enough time thinking about what they want from life, and they haven't set formal goals for themselves. They may throw, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, but they've never actually sat and planned it out, spent enough time investing in themselves to plan the goals. That's what we're going to talk about today, how to do it. Some people get overwhelmed just with the thought of sitting and planning. So it might be, for instance, a person works really hard, they make really good money, but they're constantly living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because they never sit down to make a budget. So they're spending way over their means, or they set the budget and they ignore it, and they are constantly striving and they get frustrated. But we want to set goals basically in every aspect of our lives because it just helps so much. And just like we wouldn't set out on a major journey with no idea of where we're going to go. Oh, we're just going to go west. Yeah, but where? What's your final destination? We probably wouldn't do that. Deborah Owens, hey, welcome. Happy Monday to you. So the same way we wouldn't just get in the car and drive with no destination in mind. We don't want to just throw goals out. Oh, yeah, one day I want to do this. We want to plan it out so that we can reach the goal and enjoy the glory of it and the victory, right? So again, oh, Deb said, hi, fam. We are a family. If you can think of some goals that you have, one or two, put a G in the comment and then put the goals so we can talk about it, okay? So we want to set sharp, clearly defined goals. That way you can measure them, take pride in your achievement. That's very important. And then look forward to progress instead of a pointless grind, just going, and never getting the good results. That raises your self-esteem. You recognize your own ability. I'm confident. Look what I was able to do. I set the goal. I set my mind to it. I did it, right? Awesome. Now I have to set a disclaimer. Some of you out there in the audience, and some of you that will see this on the replay, like a lot of my clients, are overachievers, overextenders, doing way too much. I used to do that, so I totally understand. So for you, if you're that person, I would say that the first goal should be to schedule more time for rest. Do way less. Naya, hey, good to have you. Make the goal to do way less, or do the things that you're doing, but with much less intensity in the day. Some of us are way up here, it's an intensity, and we got to get perfection, and exhausting. Adjust your expectations for yourself, not lower, just adjust so that they're more reasonable. A lot of my clients, I like to start them out with like a month of doing absolutely the least possible. Rest is so important. And when we rest, we reset, we're able to then see clearer. How come when we go away on vacation, we're able to think about things, right? We clear our minds. And sometimes that change of pace, we make certain goals and we say, yeah, when I get back, I want to do this, or I'm not going to do that, right? So that's how we want to do this living. Oh, Gio says, I've been doing less for a whole month. I love it. Good for you. It feels good because we live so intensely. And that's what has been passed down to us. I was talking to a client earlier today. When we look at our mothers, it was nonstop. The level of expectations for a woman caring for her husband and her children a generation ago, and maybe working outside the home as well, non-stop. So that's what we saw. And we have Wadi in the audience, so we have to address the men taking care of going out, making that money, coming home, working on the house, being involved with the children. It's a lot of work, right? So that's the generation before us. But when we look at them today, the question is, did they benefit from all of what they did at such a high level of achievement? Or has it been reflected in their health at this point? So we want to learn from that and do better. Live, do, get our goals accomplished, but with less intensity, and enjoy the ride as we go along. Candida, hey. All right. Oh, Maria, hey. Okay, so Renee says career change and overall wellness. Love that. Awesome. Exciting. Maria says her goal is to set more time in taking care of herself. Love that. Learning to recognize my limitations and saying no. Drop the mic, Maria. That's it. And again, a lot of times when we look at our caregivers, especially our moms, do it and do it perfectly because you're representing the family. Don't mess with this family name. Don't give us a bad reputation. And we overextend. Candida says she wants to schedule more time to care for herself and her husband. That's beautiful. Love that. Very, very nice. Okay. So, how can we get our goals accomplished? Let's consider the following. The first is the SMART, SMART, and it's an acronym to ensure that your goals. S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for achievable, R is relevant, and T is time bound. Later, we're going to go into each one of them more specifically, okay? Number two, clarity. We want to make sure our goals are clear and specific and that you can quantify them. Again, we don't just want to throw a big goal in the air. Yeah, I want to do that one day. Sounds like a fairy tale. Once upon a time in a faraway land. We want to be specific and we want to be clear, okay? Geo says she wants to reduce stress and lower cortisol levels, more self-care. Beautiful. Because it's just overall for our overall well-being in every sense of the word. Very nice. Number three, reality. Ensure that your goals are realistic and within your control. Because if you're relying on someone else to do something so that you can reach your goal, well, it may not ever happen. And if it's so out of your reach, it's not realistic, then what's the purpose? Then you're disappointed that you can't reach it, but you're setting yourself up for disappointment, right? And here I'm going to pause, and it has to do with what Renee said. You see, Renee's a grown woman and she wants to do a career change. Why? Renee, I hope you don't mind, but I'm sure other people can benefit from this. We want to set goals that we can achieve. Sometimes other people set unrealistic goals for you, for me. Could be our parents, a caregiver, a teacher. You should pursue this career. You should do this. No, this is the career that makes more money. Or the child wants to go to one college or high school, and the mother insists, no, go to this one. For whatever reason, it's closer, it's easier on me to pick you up if there's an emergency, whatever the thing. But they don't know what our own desires and ambitions are. So, in the setting of goals, especially as adults now, where we have control, it's so important to do it according to our needs, what's important to us, what we personally want to achieve, not to satisfy someone else. It could be a wife with a husband that says, no, do this. Or a child, if there are any students in the that will watch this, communicate with your parent that I know you want me to do this career, but that's not going to bring me satisfaction. I want to do this career. And this one may even make me more money, but I'll be miserable. This is what I want to do. And even I'll adjust my budget, but I want to, and I'll live modestly, but this is the passion of my heart, right? There are people who go to college, get the 4-year degree in accounting or whatever. They come, they give the degree, the diploma to the dad. This is yours. Now I'm going to go do, I satisfied you. Now I'm going to go pursue my music career. That's just an example. I know someone who did that. Why? Because he didn't want to be an accountant. He would be miserable. And he knew that. But oh, that's what you're insisting on? Okay, there you go. So when we set goals, we want to make sure that they're our goals, even as adults, because we could still have our parents' thoughts in our head. That doesn't make sense. That's unrealistic. That's irresponsible. Of course, with balance, we need to be responsible, but we should also take that into consideration in regards to our goals. Okay, make sure it's something that you really want. And it's also possible to set goals that are too difficult because you may not realize the obstacles that are getting in your way. You may not understand how much skill you need to develop that particular goal. Okay. So we want to make sure that the goal is worthwhile. Choose a goal that feels worthwhile and matches your efforts. Again, it's all about you. In the scheme of things, remember, I'm the only one in this universe right now. This is my life. I have to live it. I want to live it and enjoy it. And we're going to be talking about joy a lot. Renee says, speak it is so important. Thank you for your permission. It's very important to pursue our own goals, not what other people around us want us to pursue. DJ, hello. I think you're new here. Learning to learn what I really want after trying to please others for so long. Wow, very nice. Yeah, you're not alone here. We're a bunch of people pleasers, or we're working on that, right? Because it's Dara. Hey, good to have you. Yeah, going after what we want, shutting down that outside noise. Leah, hey, you're late, but you're here. Just a little tardy, darling, but you made it. Good to have you. We're talking about goals, reaching them. If you have a goal, Leah, please put it in the chat. Put a G and then the goal, and we can talk about it. All right. So we want it to be worthwhile, meaning it's what I want. Okay. Time bound. Set a start and end date to keep you on track. Have an action plan that includes a deadline and what you're going to do to achieve your goal. Track your progress consistently. You can put it on a spreadsheet if you're that type of person, or you can use your calendar, your agenda, right? Put it down there. Commitment. We have to commit to ourselves, accept the challenge, and remain accountable to our plan. And there again, that's why it's so important that this is something for you, for me, and I'm committing to myself because this is what I want, and I'm going to go after it. And when you do that and you create that accountability with yourself, you're telling your inner self, I love you and value you. You are important to me, and we're going to get this done. Isn't that exciting? It's so beautiful. Kiara Thompson, hello, darling. Organization, nice, very nice. Personal organization, I imagine. And that goes into our home, our car, our job, our desk, right? Very nice. Good to have you, Nisi. And hard goals. Hard as an HARD. Set goals that are heartfelt, animated, required, and difficult. And not say, oh, I'll never get to that. I can never achieve that. You can if you want to. And if it's important enough to you, you can do the hard things. Okay, so setting our goals can help us focus, measure our progress, and stay motivated. And they can inspire us to take action and move towards our desired outcome because we have it's like that, what is it called? A dart. And we're looking, and we're looking to get right in the center. That's what we want to get. So maybe your dream is to be a teacher, a musician, a physical therapist. All of those dreams include what? Setting and reaching small and then big goals. Each of the major goals can be and should be broken down into smaller, more attainable goals that will propel you towards success. Money, again, briefly, you may have heard people paying off debt. This is just a little side point. You may have heard of oh boy, oh my goodness. Avalanche is one way. My mind totally just went blank. It'll come to me if you know what I'm talking about. You have 5 debts, 5 credit cards you want to pay off. Do it small. You could do smallest to largest. And you may say, yeah, but my largest, the smaller one has snowball. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. It's an open. The snowball. But you may say, yeah, but one of the cards has 17% and the small one only has a 5% interest rate. But the beauty in doing the small one first, maybe you have $100 on that left to pay. When you pay off that $100, it's like victory. I paid a debt off, but the other one that has more interest, you would like to pay that off first, but that may be, what if that's $5,000? That's going to take months, maybe even years to finish. And it's like you're just plugging them, plugging them. But to get that small one done, and it sets you up and you feel that, oh, I did it. And it can propel you to keep reaching the other and knocking out the other debt. So the same thing, we may have big goals, but we want to make them into small attainable goals, because every time we reach one of the small ones and we do that check mark, which is a dopamine fix. So when we do check in our calendar, dopamine, it makes us feel so good, and now I could keep going. It propels us to keep getting other goals done. I'm getting hot because I'm excited. Okay, here we go. Maybe I can't turn out the light. I'll just push it away a little bit. All right. So there are three types of goals: process, performance, and outcome goals. This was really interesting to me. Process goals is specific actions or processes of performing. So example, you might say, so I'm getting hot, and it could be something else, we don't know, right? You could say, I'm going to study because the goal is to get this particular degree, right? Or this certificate or whatever. You say, I'm going to study 2 hours after dinner every day. That's a process goal, and it's 100% controllable by me, by the individual. So that's a process goal. A performance goal is based on your personal standard. You might say, I want to achieve a 3.5 GPA, right? Personal goals are mostly controllable as well by you and me, the individual. And then there are outcome goals based on winning. So for a college student, that could mean landing a job in your field or at a particular company that you wanted, right? So outcome goals are difficult to control because of other outside influences, but each of them work in linear motion. So if you achieve your process goals, you give yourself a good chance to achieve your performance goals. And when you achieve your performance goals, you have a better chance of achieving your outcome goals. Isn't that nice? So the importance is set goals that motivate you, that are important to you. So now I'm going to ask you, what lights your soul on fire? That's one of my favorite questions. What lights your soul on fire? Please put it in the comments. Let us know. And maybe it will be something that connects with the goal that you already set. Leah says, debt-free and establish financial stability. Nice. Because that financial peace brings mental, emotional peace. We can move better in the world. We're free. And it gives us more freedom to do what we want in other areas of our lives. Um, and travel. That's the that lights your soul on fire, Leah. That lights mine on fire too. So look at that. You can travel better and nicer if the debt is gone and you have financial stability. Isn't that nice? Usually when we reach our goals, help us to, the closer we get to our kind of serious goals, the more we're able to reach our pleasure goals, the things that bring us joy. Roxy says emotional wellness. Nice. I think you're well on your way. Very, very nice. Another thing, and back to doing things that we like. I touched on it a little. A job. We may choose jobs, and I was talking to one of my clients today about this. We may choose a job based on the salary. That's what I need to make, and I'm going for it. Or a good schedule that's going to support these other things that I do in my life, volunteer work or hobbies. But it's rare that we look for jobs that we are doing something we enjoy. Very few people work at a job that they love. Isn't that interesting? I happen to work, my secular job is with a professor in a college, a university. He's world renowned mathematician, and he doesn't stop. That is his passion. His wife calls it the other woman because math is the love of his life. And he teaches the students, and he travels, and he gives talks, and he does conventions and conferences and seminars all the time. It's a beautiful thing. Um, Kiara says she loves her job. That's good. That's good. And it's rare. Most people are like, oh, I gotta go to work, right? But it's interesting how society, our parents, We're not encouraged to do things that we enjoy, even secularly. It's go after that money, get what's the schedule you want. Um, but it will be good to we can adjust. And I've told you before, this what I'm doing. Had no idea I would love it so much. Truly my passion project. Love it, love it, love it. Itza says, let my creativity flow. Nice. Itza, can we be a little more specific, darling? Renee says, fitness and travel. Very nice. Again, Kara says she loves her job. Helping people with their livelihoods is fulfilling. Nice. Candida says, continue to attain emotional balance and do better in handling triggers. Awesome. And it's really controlling ourselves, learning why things trigger us, and then we got it. We can be cool and calm when what used to be a big trigger would set us off. Now it's like, oh, I get it. I know why that bothers me. And it's not her, it's me. I'll just move on. Right? So we want to write our goals down, put them in a place we can see, and adjust our goals as necessary. Can we please start that? If we're not people that write things down, can we write it down somewhere? Can we put it in maybe the notes on our phone? Some people have big boards that they can stick things on. We can put it there, maybe with a quote that inspires us or a picture that if we love travel, we can put that. If we're paying down debt, we can put the schedule of how we're going to pay it off. We can use, we could be creative, use graphs and charts, right? And adjust our goals as necessary. And we want to recognize and reward ourselves when we meet the goal. Stop and celebrate it. A lot of times I'm like, did you write that down? To my clients when they do these amazing things? Did you put a star on the calendar when you reach that goal? Like, what? It's something to be celebrated. Do something to celebrate. Stop and sit in that. Okay. That's something else we haven't been taught. It's like, oh, yeah, you did that. All right, let's get to the next goal. No, we want to stop and relish in it. Okay, so let's go back to SMART goals. That's an acronym. S is for specific. We want to be highly detailed on what we want to accomplish. Who, what, where, how. Measurable. How will you demonstrate and evaluate how your goal has been met? And it could be a chart, a graph, whatever the thing is. Make sure it's attainable. Make sure the goals are within your ability to achieve. Make sure they're relevant. How do your goals align with your objectives? And time-based. Set 1 or 2 or 3 target dates. So I want to do this I want to get this particular bill paid by we're November, by January 2025. This one by March 2025, right? Put the deadlines, get those dates written down. We can see it. It motivates us to keep at it. I want to lose a certain amount of pounds by this date or a certain amount of inches by this date, right? Or I want to go down a dress size by, right? Make it time-based. That's what SMART stands for, and it helps us to have success in reaching our goals. In setting our personal goals, consider what you want to achieve in your lifetime, or at least in a significant or distant age in the future. That can also help us in regards to health. Right now, that's my goal. Exercise, my physical well-being. Exercise, eating right, avoiding the sweets, right? The carbs that I love so much. But what's the benefit in 10 years? I'll be healthy, fit, right? Energetic, still be able to travel, be mobile, be able to move around without a cane or bent over, right? That's in my mind, that is the goal for the future, so that I don't have to be a burden to others and I can take care of myself. So that could include career. What level do you want to reach in your career? What do you want to achieve? It could be financial. How much do you want to earn? By what stage? How is that related to your career goals? Education, is there any knowledge, any degree that I need to get to that goal? What information or skills will I need to have in order to achieve these other goals? Maybe the goal is family. Do you want to be married? Do you want to have a baby? What are you going to do to be a good parent? How do you want to be seen by your partner and other members of the extended family? Isn't that nice? Those are good things to think about. Artistic, you may say, yeah, I want to achieve artistic goals. It might be sewing, dancing, art, playing an instrument, singing. That might involve taking lessons, right? Or watching YouTube videos to learn. What about our attitude? Is there any part of our mindset that's holding us back? Is there any part of the way that you behave that upsets you? Maybe it upsets you that you set the goal, you say it, and then you don't do it. Me, it's exercise. Ooh, that's my physical. Physical is the next thing. Are there athletic goals you want to achieve? You want to be in better health and deep into your old age. That's me. So exercise 5 days a week. Come on, Karen, you could do it. Do it early. Get it done. But boy, is it hard to get up in because exercise is not something that I love. Renee loves exercise and fitness. It's not my love. I am happy to do it because I know the benefits. But physical exercise is not my thing. Now, dance I love, and I really should do more of that. Will wiggle that into my schedule. But what did I do? I joined a Zoom group. The instructor is hilarious, silly, he's good music. I battle with the sheets and the pillow off and on, then finally get up, and I get up, and boy, do I feel good. Halfway through, I'm like, I'm so glad I did this. It feels good. But if I have the attitude, Karen, you hate exercise, you're not going to do it, you don't like it, don't join the group, it's going to be a waste of your time and money. No, I'm going to do this. And knowing that they're waiting me is going to help me. And knowing that I love the instructor, I love his vibe, it's going to get me to continue. Naya too loves fitness. I forgot about that, Naya. You and Renee should talk to each other. But we have to do those things to motivate ourselves. What about pleasure? That's why I said, what lights your soul on fire? How do you want to enjoy yourself, right? So sometimes we have to schedule even those things into our schedule so life isn't so serious. I want to do a walk in the park, a jog, if that's what lights your soul on fire. I want to sew. I want to learn an instrument. I want to take singing lessons. I want to take salsa lessons. I want to take cooking or do more cooking, whatever the thing is. I want to do crocheting, right? It's very important to add pleasure into our lives. Very important. Because again, where's the joy? We need to feel joy. Our body and minds require it. So can you add more joy to your work? How can you do it? Stay present. Get out of your head. Don't overstress. Be authentically you. Enjoy the little things and don't aim for perfection. Don't overstress. A lot of us, 250% at our secular job. Nobody's asking for that. Just give 100%. Gino said, Coach K helped me discover my passion for emotional wellness. Now I'm addicted. When I started down this path, I'm like, Gio, oh my goodness, you're not going to believe what I learned. And here she is. And Wadi, she likes to call me Coach K because that's what you call me. She said it stuck. That's cute. And what about public service? Do you want to make the world a better place? I think Kiara mentioned that. Helping people with their livelihoods is fulfilling. Is that what you want to do? How can you do it? All right. So spend some time brainstorming. What do I want out of life? What do I want for myself? Um, Brainstorm, but again, we have to take the time to do it. Reflect, think, meditate, and then write the goals. Those were different categories: public service, enjoyment, pleasure, physical, attitude, artistic, family, employment. And then figure out what it is that you want, because whatever you want, you should go for it. This life is to be enjoyed. If you're at a job that you hate, find another one. that you love or at least enjoy, or maybe you like the job and the people in the office or around you are just horrible. You have the power to change. Isn't that beautiful? You can do it. So create a to-do list. Oh, Wadi, we know you find public service very fulfilling. And you always do it with a smile, I'm sure. It's beautiful. Beautiful. So create that to-do list. And you can have short term and long term. And I like to do a to-do list for each day so that I can get things done. Elvin says always, Elvin says, because I usually end the day and I say, Elvin, it was a, what do I say, Elvin? It was a good and productive day. And so satisfying. And after a while, he looked at me. He said, "Karen, you always say that." Because I really enjoy. I enjoy what I'm doing, and even the mundane things, I put joy in it. Taking care of my mom in the mornings, getting her cleaned up, and all that stuff. Put the music on. She has dementia, but she gets moving too. She moves her little shoulders and we sing and dance together. That could be a very task. But why not enjoy it with her with some good music? She loves music. That's where I get my love for it from. It's a beautiful thing. Let's add more joy to our even our mundane everyday things in life. Okay. So now once we have the goal, how do we stay on course? Because that's what people say. I could write it down, but I'm not coming back to look at the list. Okay, we have to be committed to ourselves, right? We want to stay on course. Periodically, let's look at our to-do list. I encourage writing a daily to-do list. We have our goals. We can put them somewhere that we can see it. And then every day, our to-do list should, something on there should help us reach the long-term goals. Mine is health and wellness, physical wellness, being strong, agile, right? Having energy. So doing exercise 5 days a week is going to help me towards that goal, right? I'm so inspired by 70 and 80 somethings that are doing their thing and they're dressed and they're out and there's no cane and no walker. If you have to use it. But if you've taken care of yourself and you don't have to use it, I think it's just the most beautiful thing. Leah says to-do lists are game changers. They really are. And it takes less, takes it out of our mind. Another thing people use the term brain dump. Getting it out of here and writing it down. Now our brain, we don't have to think and we can enjoy, because if I have to remember 5 things while I'm doing the first thing, I can't really enjoy and relax because I have to remember the other 4 things. But if we just write it down, now we can enjoy because then we go back, okay, we check off that. Okay, number 2, okay, I'm getting this done. It really helps. So here are some broad guidelines to help us set effective and achievable goals. Yeah, Leah says she likes the brain dump. We got to be good to ourselves. Set priorities. We may have several goals. Give each one a priority. That way we don't get overwhelmed. We don't want to have too many goals, and we can direct our attention to the most important ones. That's very important. We don't want to get overwhelmed before we even got started, right? Write the goals down. It's so important. Some people, I don't like to write. Write it down. It crystallizes them and gives them more force. It really works. And then keep the other goals small. The low level goals that you're working towards, small, make them small and achievable as you reach the bigger goals. And when you achieve the goals, take the time to enjoy the satisfaction of having done so. Put that up on your board or in your phone. Mark it a big star or a big heart on your calendar. This is something, because that reward system then tells your brain, ooh, and if you get to do that one, you'll also get an award. Okay, we want to sit in that and bask in the achievement. It's very important to reward yourself. Okay, and it helps build the self-confidence that you deserve. All right. So we want to keep ourselves motivated. We want to set the goal, separate, take out the distractions, and we want to motivate ourselves. I really encourage, if you have a hard time staying motivated, sticking to your not routine, but your goals, invite someone else in. Get a coach. If it's fitness, get a fitness coach. If it's emotional wellness, get an emotional wellness coach. If it's learning an instrument, you may be the type that you need somebody right there to teach you the instrument or on Zoom, right? Get the help. Grab a few friends. I want to walk every day. Will you join me? We cannot do these things by ourselves. We're encouraged to. That's how we were taught. Don't tell anybody your goals because then they got. But if you have the right people in your life, they won't be jealous. They won't put obstacles in front of you. They'll be your cheerleaders. They'll encourage you to go, go, go. It is so important. So get a group of cheerleaders. One or two is good. And let them help you motivate you and get you started and keep you with your momentum. And then you could share, I paid off, da da da, and you get the hearts and the go girl, or hey, good for you, right? All of that helps. We're not made to do things by ourselves. We have to keep ourselves motivated and be committed to ourselves, but of the outside world letting them in with vitamin people is very important. They be the right type of person. Sometimes people in relationships and even their spouse does not cheer them on. So we have to be careful who we share our goals with, but find those vitamin people and share with them and let them be in on the fun. Okay, Candida said, that's why I have you as my personal emotional coach. Yay, yes, I love working with you, Candida. And Leah says, anyone want to be my financial stability accountability partner? If anybody's interested, put it in the chat. Accountability partners help. Because we can veer and life has its ebbs and its flows, but if I have to, yeah, that's how I'm on YouTube. If it was for me, I would have never made it. Alejandro, Karen, when you gonna, Karen, okay, did it, love it. Oh, it just says sign me up, love that, and it's just good. She's a good one. That's right up her alley. Oh, and Gio says, I'm here for you. Oh, you got two. Look at that. And Gio's good at that too. That's her specialty. Very nice. So we also want to set lifetime goals, a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. Keep the process going. Review it regularly. Update your goals. Remember to take the time to enjoy the satisfaction of achieving your goals when you do so. And that leads us to thriving, because that was the title. Oh, Leah said, thank you. That was the title. Set your goals and thrive. Achieve your goals and thrive. What is thriving? Because a lot of us are into surviving. We're in survival mode. We get stuff done. We go from one frenzied activity to the next. But what is a thrive? What's the difference between a survivor and a thriver? A thriver mindset includes an ability to trust in the flow of life rather than always needing to control it. And that's where a lot of us are or have been. Again, people say, crush your goals. Get it done, girl. Do it. Well, Wadi, I have to take you to do it, boy. Yo, man, do it. But where is the joy in that? That's striving. And it's pressure. And it's not comfortable. There's no enjoyment. We want to thrive. So life is not perfect. We know that. And it has ups and downs. Wadi said that. I gotta take you to consideration because we're really happy to have you here, Wadi. Life has its ebbs and flows, and we don't want to try to control everything because we can't. We can't. We cannot control everything. Can we accept that? That there are many things in life that are out of our control, but we can accept the things that are, and do the things that we do have control over. So we may have goals and they may have to be pushed to the side, or we wanted it done in 6 months. We might have to make it a year and a half, but it doesn't mean we're not going to get it done. It just may take a little longer, but it's okay. We have that thriver mindset. We just go with the flow of life. We accept things as they are. And we don't try to control every minute of Imani, hey, good to have you. We don't try to control every moment, everything. We have to learn to hold things lightly. Look at that. Here's a piece of it. We can hold it lightly rather than grasping it tightly to outcomes that we feel compelled to achieve. People who know how to thrive develop the ability to perceive life, notice this, through a lens of possibilities and opportunities rather than a filter of obstacles and limitations. So they look for why things can happen rather than why they can't. So a striver can just be go, go, go with a level of intensity, striving for perfection, right? But a striver can also, oh, I can't do it. I want to do it, but I can't because look at this obstacle, and I have this and I have that. And yet there are people with similar or worse circumstances that do way more. But a thriver sees the positive, sees the opportunity, sees the possibilities. I stumbled, I fell, I made an error. It's nothing wrong with that. It's a learning. I'll use it as a building block. I'll step a stumbling and I'll step on it and I'll still achieve my goals because now I'll learn. I know not to do that again. I'm not a failure, but I'm going to learn from this. It's an opportunity to learn. I'm going to do better in the future. What a difference. Thriving necessitates the ability to be present. Wow. We had, again, another client I was talking to today, being present. She was like, I enjoyed my daycare. She had a whole big thing going on. I'll repeat it in just a moment, Renee. With all kind of things going on. She was busy and she said, I got out of my head and I said, she did her diaphragmatic breathing. It was a very stressful day, but she managed to take it easy. She didn't have to be 2 hours early. She was probably a half hour early, knowing her, or 45 minutes. She said, I still got there early. Bring it down. Be present in the moment. Enjoy the moment rather than worrying about the future or ruminating over the past. That's so important. So, Renee, thriving is to develop the capacity to perceive life through a lens of possibilities and opportunities rather than through a filter of obstacles and limitations. A thriver looks for why things can happen rather than why they can't. So it's a more positive viewpoint. So of course you're going to thrive. Of course you're going to rise to the top. And you're not worrying about the past, ruminating over what I did wrong. If I had done this 10 years ago, I would have been so much far ahead. No, I'm here now and I'm doing it and I'm proud of myself for doing it now. No better time than the present. And I'm not worried about the future, but what if something happens and I never get, no, I'm going to do the best I can so I can reach the goal. Okay, that's a thriver. So having a positive outlook makes a huge difference. Leah says, I want to learn to see the possibilities. Yes. Renee, you got it. Okay, good. We can use imagery. I like this because in a future course that I'm going to be giving, we're going to use imagery. It means using your imagination to picture you at that point, right? You can draw, you can do something on the computer. Imagine yourself thriving. We have a few more minutes. I want you to listen to this and then I want you to get in the chat and give us your thoughts, okay? There's a therapist that she says it's the miracle question. All right. She says, I asked them what would be different. She asked her clients, what would be different if they woke up in the morning? I'll just say, what would be different if you woke up in the morning and you were no longer surviving but thriving? She said, this can be challenging. So she says, imagine this. If I were to make a documentary about your life when you're thriving, if a camera crew were following you around, what would you What would we see you doing differently than what you're doing now? So I'll tell you, this weekend I ate way too many sweets. If I was, but it's okay. But if I was thriving, I would have had, and boy, did I have a good time. So, but I would have had just one little pie. This little farm on Long Island, they had the cutest little pies, and they were so good. Instead of having two or three, I would have had one or half of one. Okay, because that would get me closer to my goal of physical well-being, right? But I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thoroughly, and I was in really good company. The whole everything was just wonderful. But can you put something in the chat? Can you think of that? If a camera crew were following you around making a documentary about your life, what would we see you doing differently than you're doing today that would help you reach your goals? Something to think about. I did, even though I ate not the best this weekend, I'm very proud of myself. I got up. I'm like, Karen, this is another day. Monday, get up, do your exercise. And I did it. I was quite proud of myself. We want to have a clarity about what we see for ourselves in the future. Because if we can't see it, how can we get to it? All right. Anybody have any other thoughts on that? I'll give you a moment. And then once you see that vision of you thriving, you could bring it further into your life by then describing how would you be spending a typical day when you're thriving, right? Thank you, Leah. I was quite proud of myself, darling, quite proud. And it feels so good because it's something for me. It helps me with stress. It helps me to feel better, be more energetic. It's so important. I have to do it and I feel good when I do it. And then I pat myself on the back. Good job, Karen. Good job. So think of yourself in your daily life, how you would spend a typical day when you're thriving. So, your actions and behaviors, your body language, and the words you would say to yourself and others. How would you spend your time, right? What would be the techniques you would use when you're triggered or overwhelmed? What's the environment you would be creating to live in for yourself and the people you spend time with? All of this is when you're thriving. What does that look like? Because if we can visualize it, we can see it more clearly using our imagination. And the situations and people who will be supporting you in your thriving, those times or situations where you need strategies to support you from going back to the survival methods, but continue to thrive. It's really important. If we can just take the time, close our eyes, think about it, visualize it. It's like the marathoner that visualizes himself crossing that finish line. Wow, powerful. All right, we got some. Ooh, Dara says exercising and reading daily for my physical and spiritual growth, mental health. Very nice. Naya said, ooh wee. Gio says the camera crew will see me laughing and dancing because of managing my time efficiently. Nice. So I can accomplish everything I want to each day. That is wow. Merece un aplauso. That deserves an applause. That would be amazing. And Itza says it's hard to visualize myself thriving, something to meditate on. Please do that. Yeah. And if you can go out, I'm glad you shared that because some others may be here saying the same thing. Or those who are going to watch this on replay, I don't know. I can't. It means you need more time for yourself. Go for a walk in nature. Go sit somewhere in a cafe outside of your home. Go to a library, a bookstore, whatever the thing. Take a walk without the earbuds and meditate and reflect on yourself. What would my life look like if I were thriving? Leah, excuse me, says the same thing. I have to meditate too. I can just offer this. I could see you doing more of what you love, which is sewing, enjoying that. more just doing that, maybe teaching it, maybe having young people around you and showing them, because that's kind of like a lost art these days. How many young girls know how to sew? That would be phenomenal. Or business wise in some other way as you've done in the past. Leah, you mentioned financial stability and right? Was it paying off debt as well? Right? Mm-hmm. And so thriving would be finding joy as you write the list of your debts, staying focused and disciplined to pay them off with now you have accountability partners, right? And then as you are able to discipline yourself, make sacrifices and pay off the debt, and then as you cross that one off, you do the snowball method from smallest to largest, and rejoicing in every step of the way, and then being totally debt free. Whoa! And then traveling and doing your life and doing the things that you want to do. That should bring a big smile to your face because you could feel it. When we can visualize ourselves thriving, well, I could see myself in a smaller dress size and feeling better. I'm already feeling better by being consistent with my exercise. I have more energy and things are working out for me. I'm more agile. I have less knee pain, right? Leah said, that sounds beautiful. It just says, thanks for that, Karen. I could see it. We're wonderful, amazing people. I could see Gio just doing her thing. That's right, managing my time. I'm doing this, and this today. By the end of the day, she's got it done. Cool, calm, and collected, having enjoyed every moment of what she did. Beautiful, right? I could see Renee teaching fitness, doing the thing, having groups of women around her doing hikes over there in Arizona, teaching classes on Zoom so she could have a worldwide class. Everybody will be invited. This is the price, whatever the thing, and building women up and helping them to then thrive. She's thriving because she's pursuing something that she wants to do, and then she's helping other women thrive and get in shape, and she's motivating them. Yeah, and now she's saying I have to find quiet time to do this. But I can so see that, Renee. So life is not about thriving 24/7, right? Sometimes we have to be in survival mode. We have to juggle a lot of things. We may be thriving and then a parent gets ill, right? Thriving and a child, something happens in school, but it's a constant, right? We don't want to be stuck in survival mode. We may have to put our goals on hold and and then we get back into our growing and flourishing, right? Going with the flow of life, letting it ebb and flow, not trying to control everything, taking things with ease, getting our rest, and enjoying what we're doing as we're doing. What a beautiful thing. So all of the things, the activities, our behaviors, and our relationships, by bringing it into our conscious attention right here. Our subconscious is here, the conscious is here. You can become clearer on your survival behaviors and attitudes and what supports you so that you can move over into a thriving state. We don't want to survive, we want to thrive. Visualize, Renee. Yes, visualize. And awareness of that. Awareness of, am I in survival mode or thrive mode? Can help us to manage a glitch on our own, reach out for external support when needed. We don't have to be islands. We should not be. It's not healthy. We were not made to be disconnected from other people and do everything by ourselves. No. If someone else knows it, why go through why take the hard, the route that we have to learn from scratch? Ask this person who already did all that, and she or he can get you on the road. Why start over here and make it more difficult? So we want to reconnect to ourselves and look to thrive. We could do an activity, we could get crayons, a pen and paper, a chalkboard, or even some people like to do things on their phone. Set aside time where you won't be disturbed so you can visualize yourself thriving. Get your pencils and pens and crayons ready. Take a moment to pause. Do a short meditation so you could prepare. Like get yourself in the mode, not with the TV on and the phone beeping, beep, beep, all the notifications. Get a quiet place. I suggest outside of the home because the home can just be so intense because there's always something to do. There's always something calling our attention. Get out. Then give yourself permission to be creative and not limited by your inner self critic. I want to do that, but I can't do that. That's so unrealistic. That's so, and it's not. Or I would never. Why not? Because someone told you you can? How could I? Yes, you can. And that's why you need vitamin people in your life to help you keep going. Imagine what a thriving you looks and feels like. Visualize it. Wow. Exciting. Very exciting. We want to be calmer. We want to own our own presence. No longer hiding. That resonates with me because I've been there where my talents and everything, I was so overwhelmed, so sad in my soul at the core. I didn't want to be seen. I'd rather just close in, just be in a corner somewhere. Don't look at me, just. And now I'm on YouTube, right? What a difference. We have to stop hiding. I was talking to a client earlier today. She said that I don't hide anymore, Karen. I'm more confident in myself. I'm like, you go, girl. That's awesome. We want to be calmer. We want to grab life softly, go with the ebb and flow, stay in the present, be confident that we're able to achieve our goals, visualize them, and don't cut ourselves off. We want to be realistic, but sometimes, we may cut ourselves short because I can't do that. But why not? So ask that vitamin person if they think it's possible, somebody that knows you well, and do the thing. Aim high. People can benefit from you, who you are. We all are a brand. We're all special. We all have something special. It's so funny. A lot of people say, Karen, I love your voice. When I was a young 20s, if I heard my voice on an answer machine, I was like, oh, I hated my voice. And I'm like, you love my voice? Really? So interesting. So we can't always be our best judge and critic. We need to let other people in it to let us know. And have fun. Enjoy the steps, enjoy the process. View mistakes as learning opportunities and possibilities. It says, my biggest struggle is hiding, and Wadi tells me, just do it. Yeah, see, I'm glad you have your husband who's a vitamin person. Yeah, and you are amazing. We got to pull you out of that. People need to see you and connect with you. We need to enjoy everything. Candida says, yes, your voice is very calm, and thank you. Everybody says it, and thank you so much. My old 20-something self would have been like, what? It is what it is, right? So we want to thrive, not survive. We want to set our goals and achieve them. Calm and soothing. Thank you, Renee. Y'all did great. I hope that your minds, because my mind is I'm gonna have to bring myself down tonight. My mind is like, oh, I'm all up in here imagining all of us doing things that we love, that we can thrive at, that fill our soul, that make us happy and joyful, that bring some type of feeling of passion to our lives. Let's keep working on it. Have a wonderful evening. If you're new here and you're not in the chat, it will be Alejandro. Si puede poner el enlace. Guerrero said this was nice. Thanks, my niece Sipu. That's my firstborn niece. If you're not in the chat, Please put yourself in it. The link, if you're watching this on the replay, it'll be down in the show notes because we want you to be a part of this community. Great learning, Candida says. So good to have you all. We went overtime tonight. That's that extra hour of sleep I got yesterday. It wasn't a nice to have the extra time. Big hugs to everybody. Estras 14. I gotta look that up. You giving me homework, Wadi? I'll look it up. Estras 14. Big hugs. Be well, be kind to yourselves, and thrive. Bye now. You're very welcome. Enjoyed you all. Bye. Be well. Hello, hello. My name is Karen Marinez. I'm an emotional wellness coach. I help you learn how to identify, process, and untangle those emotions that we all deal with on a daily basis. Vimes Life now has a membership for the English-speaking audience. It's really good news. So let me tell you 5 benefits that you gain by joining the membership. The first one is you get videos made monthly exclusively for you, those who are part of the membership. Number 2, once a month you get a live Zoom with me so we can interact. I can teach you, comfort you, and answer your questions. It'll be really nice. Number 3, you get a separate chat exclusively for those within the membership. 4th benefit, you get special stickers. When you interact in the chat on YouTube Live, when we're live on Mondays, your name will have a little special sticker next to it to identify you as one of the members of the membership. And number 5, last but not least, you get special discounts on our courses. So you say, well, how do I sign up? Right below, right by the subscribe button, we hope you subscribe. Right by the subscribe button, there's a circle. It's white inside, black lettering, it says join. Press that. You'll see the first 3 options are for the Spanish audience with Spanish speaking coaches. Mine is the last one, and guess what it's called? Vimes Life Inner Circle. So come on into my inner circle so we can get to know each other better and I can help you and coach you. I'll see you soon. Bye now.